Hello and welcome back to another edition of Interdreamteam. The long international break has finally come to an end and Gameweek 8 is on the horizon. I'm Adam, the Maverick from Interdreamteam, and this is Ross, yesterday's bridesmaid. How are you, mate?
I'm all good. Yeah, all good. Looking forward to another episode.
Yeah, just the two of us this week. Unfortunately, Rob's cat Garth has been taken ill yet again. So yeah, just be a couple of us this week. But yeah, let's get straight into it, mate. Big news coming out of the FA HQ this morning, literally just dropped. We've got a German manager as the new England head coach.
Yeah, doesn't feel quite right, does it? Very strange. But he could be the man. He could be how ironic would be he's the man to finally deliver a trophy to England all those years after we beat Germany in '66.
Yeah, it could be the man. He's got good pedigree at bringing trophies, so we shall see. Anyway, let's get to the thing we love the most: Dream Team and Premier League football. So, quick summary on game week, 7 points. Just a single game week, wasn't it? And not the highest of scoring. I managed to get 79 points in the bag, taking me to a total of 853. Gave me a little bit of a red arrow, dropped maybe sort of 300 places to 1100 in the world. Yeah, few issues. Kulusevski came in. I wanted to go to Brennan Johnson, but I was 0.2 of a million short, and that cost me the goal from Johnson. And yeah, Havertz came in though, and I captained him as well, and that was a nice call to take on the Haaland captaincy last time out. And that was basically the difference between mine and your points, mate, really, by the looks of it.
Yeah, unfortunately, most of this season I've suffered with the curse of the captain. I've taken on Haaland a few times. I've gone with different captain choices, and almost every time I have paid dearly. And that's out of the sort of 7 game weeks. That has happened probably 5 out of the 7. So that shows in the points scored. You need to pick the right captain.
Yeah, definitely. You got a little idea of what transfers you're going to be doing for this week?
I'm not 100% sure yet. I'm possibly going to be looking at trying to sort my keeper situation out, which will be timely with potentially Liverpool bringing in Kelleher on the old budget. That might work quite nicely. Yeah. And I'm going to be keeping a close eye on the Havertz injury as well.
Oh, mate, any Henderson or McCarthy owners out there who don't jump on Kelleher, then they're what a fool. What a fool you would be. You can't have had a better scenario crop up. And yeah, we'll go into the Kelleher situation when we get to the keepers later. You're going to sort Hinchelwood out? Are you happy with him?
You can't be happy with Hinchelwood, can you, really? But he is playing in midfield for a very decent Brighton team. But yeah, he's not the one, really. So he's going to have to go. I'm going to have to start to sort my defence out, because Porro hasn't really been performing amazingly well either.
Well, you say that, but Spurs, yeah, the fixtures are swinging, and yeah, we'll get to the fixture ticker shortly. But yeah. Right, so what's the state of play for the mini league and the Saudi casuals? How are we going?
Yeah, solid point scorers at the top. It's, Oz up there, Sound of Eden, Housewives' favourite. I think they've been up sort of top 5 nearly the entire season, still consistently scoring solid points up there. You've obviously, coming up in 4th, looking pretty solid. Also, the Chili Beef Garnachos have been up and about it for quite a while as well, haven't they? And good old Jordan Brown in
not
5th.
Jeremy.
No, not Jeremy. Jordan, obviously solid performances last couple of seasons, so not a big surprise to see him up there. So looking pretty strong. An absolute rogue in there at number 8. Absolutely no right at all to be number 8. But he is there, Johnny. So yeah, Johnny I don't know what's happened.
Johnny Reed with a nosebleed, that cannot last. He's not got the legs. He's got the Kenyan legs. We all know it.
Yeah, it's still very early. Hell of a lot of football to play, but he's suffering with some serious nosebleeds at the moment. So we'll see how long that lasts.
I mean, what I would say is, look, from first to 18th, 30 points. 60 points between. That's one game week swing, really. So anyone who's in that chasing pack, don't be disheartened. There's a long way to go, and it's real tight. What I would say about Oz, you are right. He has been amongst it at the top, but 2 boosters used for Oz. I don't know if you're aware of that, but anyway, right. Let's have a look at the old ticker.
Yeah, let's see what fixtures are coming up.
So bit of a swing now, isn't there? I've only put the European teams up on the old spreadsheet because, I mean, realistically, they're the players we want to be going for. We all know that. So got a bit of a decent run now. I think game week 15 is when the next international break is. And there's a lot of football to be played up to that point. City with probably the best of it, and then Spurs. What do you think?
Yeah, decent. Arsenal have got a difficult run. Although I would say it's always hard when you look at some of those difficult fixtures, but they're not necessarily ones to like run and hide from, because usually when some of the big teams play each other, low scoring, so it wouldn't be like a bad thing to own defenders for some of those teams. They just don't tend to score that many, do they? So yeah, I don't think Villa aren't looking too bad for the next sort of 3 game weeks as well. Reasonable. It's just the more the defensive returns from Villa can be more unpredictable.
Well, United are actually looking pretty tidy, but we just
they
can't hang.
Never
we can't
looking
hang a hat.
tidy.
We can't hang a hat on any of their assets. It's just it's just not.
They let you down.
It's just not the one. No, we've been here already this season. What was it? Game week 4 or something like that. After the 7-0 Carabao Cup win, suddenly we thought maybe they were going to turn the corner, but not to be. So word of warning with United. Although the fixtures aren't too bad.
No assets. Repeat. No assets.
Okay, so back by popular demand, we've brought them back. The stats, the old spreadsheets, the old stats. Goonagen, all of our day one fans, you'll be aware of these tables.
Like finding your favourite jumper at the back of a wardrobe. It's here, and here are the big boys.
There it is. Look at that. What a thing of glory. Any of our newer fans or newer viewers who aren't aware of these tables, this is what we did from day one. And the main column to really be aware of is the average game week points there at the final column of the form guide from the last 3 game weeks there. And as you can see, the most informed player or the most informed striker in the game at the moment is Havertz at Arsenal. It's 4 goals from his last 3 game weeks. He's just scoring his dream team points from goals and shot points. That's basically the crux of it. 14.6 average, closely followed by Solanke over at Spurs, rocking a 14.3, and 3 goals from his last 3 game weeks. But he's chipping in with some assists as well. And something tells me I'll be jumping on Solanke pretty soon. Havertz is flagged, and he wasn't, in international duty for Germany this break. It was just precautionary. I'm sure it was just precautionary, and he is the 3rd most transferred out player this week. And I would give a bit of a word of warning there. Like, I don't think there's going to be any issues with him starting against Bournemouth. And like I say, the most informed striker in the game. So you might want to rethink that one. Salah, also big average, 15.3 for the last 3 game weeks. But just the 3 goals from the last 3, and as opposed to Havertz's 4. But chips in with the assists as well and the shot points. He's getting bonus. big chances. You know, we all know what we're going to get from Salah, and even though their fixtures are now getting a bit tougher, I wouldn't put it past him to score against Chelsea this weekend, would you?
No, not at all. He's, seasoned, isn't he? Seasoned Premier League premium striker, essentially. So yeah, you wouldn't be surprised.
Just a quick mention about Son. He stayed at home for this international break, and rumor has it he is going to be available for game week 8. So, you know, if you're looking for a little bit of a punt and a way into that Spurs attack, he's definitely going to be a damn sight better than Werner on that left wing. So keep an eye on Son. Maybe not this week, but the following week, as Spurs fixtures get better. Yeah, not much else to say about the others, but the stats are there for your pleasure.
Yeah, I mean, let's move over to the midfielders. Some serious big hitters, but no surprises. It's no surprise to see the most informed midfielder at the moment being Saka. He's a must-own for everyone. He's already 6.5 mil, and he's going to go up to 6.8 by the looks of it. I can't imagine very many people aren't already owning Saka. He's just such a must, even with Arsenal's fixtures getting more difficult. Palmer, I mean, with the massive help of that 1 game 4 goal haul, is averaging 17. But you take that out of the equation, it's not quite so impressive. But you never know with him. He's done it before. It's not the first time he's scored 4 goals in 1 game, is it? So he does come up with the big hauls. And Chelsea, reasonable form. So close eye. I'm just going to go down a little bit there to Mbeumo. Now, a lot of people will have been ignoring old Mbeumo. No European fixtures. But he looks like he's going to go up 0.3. Now, for me, for maybe just 1 game week, he is a solid punt. He can't seem to stop scoring. He basically plays as striker for Brentford, and they're playing beleaguered Man United coming up, and they've got a very tasty game week the one after. So it wouldn't be a bad punt, not necessarily for 1 week, but for 2 weeks, because they've got a very nice fixtures the following week. So I would be reasonably confident that he'll notch against United. More pressure at home. Brentford start fast, and if they do start fast and get an early goal, which they've already done 3-4 times this season, that crowd is going to turn on the old home team. So little bit of a wild one, but I like it. And even if he doesn't do much against United, you'll have knocked yourself 0.3 and you can get him out again. Lovely job. Johnson, mad form, 5 goals, 3 game weeks. We actually picked him pre-season from his pre-season form. He was one of the early predictions for getting him in your team. He took a couple of games to get going, but he's showing his real form now, like looking really decent. And I also like Martinelli at Arsenal. Was looking absolutely rubbish at the start of the season, barely sort of like getting into the side. Now looking like he's almost nailed on that sort of left-sided attack for Arsenal. 2 goals, 2 assists, averaging 11. If there is doubts on Havertz, then you might want to be having him instead. If you're thinking, well, I'm not going to bring Havertz in case he doesn't play, you could then maybe bring in like a Solanke, but then cover your Arsenal with a Martinelli. So
I'm gonna burst your bubble now, mate.
What's that?
Martinelli, not the man, unfortunately. Calf tear whilst off with Brazil, and probably the most of the doubts. You got Saka, Havertz, and Martinelli all doubtful for Arsenal, and he is probably the one who won't make it.
But we're going to have to cut that bit.
No, I'm going to leave that in.
Don't leave that in.
You've got to do your homework, boy.
You've
got to do your homework.
Right, let me come in. Now, 68th place in midfielders, Foden. He barely played the first few games. He's warmed up his legs on international duty. I feel like he's going to start notching points. He has only got 30 so far, but he hasn't had huge amount of minutes. I think, you know, Guardiola's itching to really get him in good form, and I think with their fixtures coming up, this might be the time to get him in. He's at 5.9 million. Could easily, if he gets into form, end up being like a £7 million plus kind of player, if he performs like he did last season. So, you know, sometimes it's better to get someone in before all of those indicators are pointing, because it's easy to put someone in after they've scored a hat trick. Get him in early for that premium Man City side. I think this could be the week to do it. Let's
Wolves
have a look.
Away. Wolves away could be a rout, couldn't it?
Exactly. Yeah, good fixtures, midweek fixture as well. Yeah, could be a very nice little punt. Let's have a little look at these defences, though.
Okay, so lots of money on Trent, isn't there? 6.2. He's going to rise again to 6.3, and seems to be saving his attacking returns for international duty, which is, slightly annoying, but still averaging a very nice 11.6. However, you know, like I say, lots of money tied up in him. But the highest scoring defender in the game at the moment, followed by Gabriel. Obviously, Arsenal, we have tougher fixtures coming up, but I'd be more confident to back them for clean sheets against the the European challenging teams than obviously the likes of Leicester and Southampton, who managed to score past that rock of a defence. So the tougher the fixtures, the better they seem to be. So no problems with Gabriel, even though at the moment the old clean sheets haven't been coming, and that's hurt the average down to 7.3 and a price drop incoming. But maybe that'll be even better for us to jump on him. Now, I jumped on Big Konate a couple of weeks ago and been a very happy manager since then. He's taken probably about 0.5 of a price rise since then, and averaging 11. A nice route into that Liverpool defence, that expensive Liverpool defence. Van Dijk, 0.5 more than Konate, and I think there's about 1 or 2 points difference between the two. So Konate's a no-brainer all day long. Go for him. He's the cheapest route into that Liverpool defence. Now down to Villa, and old Pau Torres is starting to get some better form, and he's a 90-minute man every game, man. You know, they're double game weeking. They kept out Bayern Munich, for Christ's sake. So, you know, he's doing all right. And at 3.3 million, if you're looking for a centre half, I don't think you need to look much further than him. Now, Calafiori at Arsenal is starting to really make some good impressions. And if you just look at his total points there, he's on 32. And his average for the last 3 game weeks is 9.6. So he scored 28 points. He scored 29 points in his last 3 game weeks. You know, he's ticking over real nicely, and the main bulk of his points have come in the last 3 weeks. So, 3.6 million, no brainer, cheap entry into that Arsenal defence, and seems to be getting better every game. But for me, I'm sick and tired of watching Rico Lewis week after week score big points and not having him in my team. He's coming in this week, 100%, 4 million, averaging 11 points. And at the top 1,000 in the Dream Team game right now, he is owned by over 60% of the managers in the top 1,000. So that tells you all you need to know. Just look at that. Freeze across the board. He's just notching points everywhere. The one column with a 0 is the goals column, and I think that will change pretty soon as well. So, Rico Lewis, coming straight in. What you got between the sticks for me, boy?
Nothing to dwell on, really. Never is with the old keepers. We've got a standout average from Vicario, but he's not setting the world alight, and he's actually looking at a price decrease. So is Raya, who is the most premium and highest scoring goalkeeper. So they're not really the ones to look at. There's only like one man who tickles my fancy, and that's Kelleher coming in for Allison.
1 million
2.3
franc.
million. Yeah, yeah, ranked about 1 million out of the goalkeepers. So yeah, he's got to be a great option for people to bring in. I do, you know, most of last season, when I finished pretty well last season, I had Martinez. He, you know, served me very well. The thing with Martinez is he is a brilliant shot stopper. So if he does get a clean sheet, you know you're getting save points. He's a good penalty stopper as well if he does, you know, come up against a penalty. So he's not a bad, more premium option, but you know, 3.7 million, the best out of the top keepers for me. But I need to save money, so it's Kelleher all the way, which sort of leads me in to these transfers, and of course Kelleher is there.
Yeah.
He's there. Anyone who wants a keeper, get amongst him. And then, as I alluded to earlier, Mbuemo for this week. I like things. A lot of things are pointing to him for me. He's getting a price rise of 0.3. It looks like he's playing a United side who could be under a lot of pressure. And if he does do well, then you've got the bonus of not having to take him straight out again because you've got very good game week for game week 9. So could be a very nice option. And Foden, for me, not a massive surprise. He hasn't been setting the world alight, but I believe within the next 2 game weeks that is about to change.
Yeah, you can never rule him out just because the form's not there right now. You know, he's explosive, isn't he? And he can haul. And yeah, like you say, if you can get on that before, then you're gonna take a big jump up the leagues, aren't you? Now, for me, like I said, the 2 red hot strikers, Solanke and Havertz. Solanke has scored 43 of his 55 points from the last 3 game weeks. So, you know, he is in red hot form, and I genuinely do feel that he will haul in the next few weeks. So, yeah, one to keep an eye on. Pretty cheap, 4.4 million. And Spurs, statistically, the best attack in the Premier League right now, if you believe in all the XG data. And as I said, not going to wax lyrical over Calafiori and Lewis any further, but 2 very good and very nicely priced defensive options. So what are we going to do for captaincy this week, mate?
Well, captains, they're all, I would say, relatively obvious, aren't they? For me. But personally, for me this week, I do like the look of Saka. I just feel like he's going to come away with good points. You do have the advantage with him that even when they've got tougher games or whatever, it doesn't seem to matter where he's playing, he picks up points from like all over the board. Whereas Haaland, I guess you need him to score because he's not doing a huge amount apart from scoring. He's scoring and shooting, really, isn't he? So yeah, for me,
just doing what Haaland does.
Doing what Haaland does. Bournemouth away, and then they've got a European fixture against Shakhtar Donetsk. So I feel like Saka's going to play maximum minutes both games, and he's going to smash it up.
Okay, well, it would be risky though, wouldn't it? Because he is flagged, and obviously we know he came home early on international duty. But
faking it.
You can also caveat that with the fact that Arteta will play Saka, you know, if he only had 2 toes. So
yeah, he's playing, surely.
For me, I'm going to find it difficult to go anywhere else than the Norwegian robot this week. Wolves away, really poor defensively. Gosh, they concede goals. So, and then you follow that up with Sparta Prague at home. They could score 10 goals this week, mate, and Haaland could get 5 or 6 of them. So, word of warning this week to take on the Haaland captaincy. It might be a little bit too bold, but good luck to you if you do take him on.
And bear in mind, I do suffer from the captain's curse, so I don't really have the record to back up my captain suggestions so far this season. So
Yes,
I have been made to pay to the tune of 60 or 70 points so far.
yeah. Sometimes it's just easier to just take the problem away, and you could make a very good case for playing a booster this week, and max captaincy would be the one I would lean towards this week. The fixtures are very nice for all three of these players, and you can chuck Havertz into the mix there as well. The Tottenham assets could all score very well, you know. So boosters for me.
Yeah, quite possibly. Yeah, quite possibly. And that max captain, it could be a good time. But you could also make a decent case for the goal bonus. It is always risky playing boosters, especially these types of boosters in the first quarter of the season. But early stage Champions League and decent Premier League fixtures combined are the juiciest of combinations. So yeah, might not actually be that reckless.
A juicy combination reminds me of Ross and Adam out of Interdreamteam. Hey, all right, mate. So cast your mind back to November 2023, and I don't know if you remember writing this in our group chat when we first started talking about doing some content for Dream Team, and we came up with a little business plan and a little summary of what we wanted to achieve from doing this. And our fantasy football advice service aims to provide expert guidance and analysis to fantasy football enthusiasts with a down-to-earth approach based more around your everyday bloke wanting a bit more knowledge. We would aim to help them make informed decisions and maximize their chances of success in their fantasy leagues, with a team of experienced players armed with a shed load of stats and data to help the everyday man. And that was what we wanted to do. And we came up with this concept with the tables, didn't we? And tried to package all of that data in a nice way for people to see who the informed players were, and then deliver it on YouTube with a no longer than a sort of half an hour video. And we did that, didn't we, for the first 18 game weeks at the back end. For midpoint of last season we started up, didn't we? And that's what we did. That's what we did. And we soon realized that this was very time consuming work. Making all the tables, getting all the data off of the app and putting it into the spreadsheets, and then recording, and then editing, and then promoting the video, answering the comments. It's a lot of work for free, full-time employed guys with families and very busy in our own personal lives. And don't forget, we do it for free. We aren't getting any money or any income from doing this, but we enjoy it. And we've loved doing it. However, the format had to change going forward, and this season we changed the format right up, and we tried to bring you shorter, bite-sized content. And even though that gave us more views and more subscribers, we kind of lost a little bit of pride in what we were doing. And we've also lost one of the team, and Rob has called it a day, and that just leaves the two of us, and we don't have the same pride in what we're doing with the new content, and we'd much prefer to deliver you this kind of stuff. So we thought we'd bring it back for one more episode, didn't we, mate? But this will probably be the last time.
Yeah, it's been a long ride, almost a year now. But I think it's more the managing of the time more than anything else, isn't it? So yeah.
I mean, we're not closing the door fully. We've left the question mark on there for time to call it a day, because it's very hard to walk away from it, isn't it, mate? But just want to reiterate, you know, that we will still be active on social media. The Interdreamteam groups and pages on X and Facebook will still be live, and we will drop on there and still remain in the discussion, you know, with the wider community on social media. And just so that the people who have signed up to our mini league are aware, you know, we're not going anywhere. The prize money will still be honoured at the end of the season, and there'll still be plenty of chat on the social media platforms about our mini league. And yeah, do not fear, we aren't going anywhere, and any prize money that you will win will be paid accordingly.
Yeah.
Anything left to say, mate?
Not for now. Thank you for all your support up to this point, and we hope you've enjoyed it.
Yeah, just want to say thank you to everyone who supported us along the way. Had some good comments and some bad comments, some positive stuff, some negative stuff, and also some really wonderful people who have been really active in sharing our material and commenting. And so I just want to give a quick thank you to these personally. Gunnar Jen, Sterex, Stevie Ricks, thanks for your comments every week. John Webb, Gary at Dream Team Rating, Connor Tobin, Adam Goodall, Kate Butterfield, Hannah Strickland, Walking Football Limited, David Yates, Andrew Siggs, and Jazz Singh, to name but a few. Thank you for everything. And yeah, it's been a pleasure. And well, we'll see what happens from here on in, and good luck for the rest of the season. And you never know, we might see you in the future. But until then, may the points be with you.
And with you.